Okay, continuing to work on these. I have one other VRP I want to test out. Now I got another board for it, but this thing is missing the little communication cable goes between the heater board and the FMS board or whatever it's called over there. So I'm making up one. This is some tedious shit right here. Little tiny connectors. So using a cable I had from something else, I had the wrong kind of end on it, so just cut it. Got to put this little thing in there. Carefully put the wire in. That's what you do. Wrong one. And then you gotta shove it in there, so I think. Okay, here's the original cable. I mean, I make a second one, so here it is. It's not perfect, but okay, cut this cord down a little bit. Hopefully not too much. Nah, that's about right. Here's the end. So, tedious as that was. If I can fucker go on there. And it's in. It's not the exact connector, but it is the right pitch and everything, so it just doesn't have to lock. Let's see if it works. Oh, and people have noticed that this is not the thermostat that goes with this, but it still communicates. So I have the one. It was just kind of beat up. Wasn't so sure about it when I was doing my initial testing, but the one that goes with it, this one you push these two buttons at the same time, it gives you the fault codes and all that kind of stuff, but wasn't so sure about it. I was doing the initial testing of boards. This one was brand new in a box, and it was laying in this unit, so I connected it, and it does control the unit, so that's all counts. Okay, it is cooling. Switch to that thermostat just to make some people happy. And then I bought another one of these things, so I just stuck it on there. 7 amps total. So, seems like a little bit for a 110, but I actually think that when these things ramp up all the way, they might actually maybe just be a little over 1 ton. I don't know, it's rated 1 ton, but variable speed though I think could be ripping. I can see the model there. VRP 12K. Yeah, well there it is. Compressor, run load amp 6.37. Then your blowers 0.38. Condenser 1.42. But again, this is running harder than it would be if it was actually installed in a conditioned space, because right there 92 degrees evaporator inlet temperature was 92 degrees. Condenser at the same time is loaded up a little bit. It's not like 80 degrees or less. Whew, that thing's kicking out the heat. It's just absolutely crazy. Whew, man. And oh, also, oh man, we got to try something. There's hot ass air pulling right back in here because this doesn't have a divider going out. So that's a good experiment we can try right now. Let me get my thermometer though to see what the temperature is. Well, I should have paid attention to this earlier. I just threw the thermometer there. It's still going up. It's like 93 degrees out. Look at that. It's going up and up and up. That is recirculation. This is actually something we got to, an issue we got to get through with some of the installers, that they have to have this divider that goes on the outside grill, and it also aims like the air down, but this divider going out through the boot, it has to be pulled out. It has to be sealed to the top of this. I just don't have any grill on it at all, and look how much air it's recirculating. It's going up and up. You hear that compressor just ripping. 123 degree inlet with 93 degree turn. No wonder this thing's way up. I'm going to turn this off because that's just absolutely ridiculous. 123 degrees. Oh, it's actually kicking up. The unit's just kicking off. I think this thermometer, this actually Oh, went back on. It might not be controlling it right because I kind of plugged this in while I was running after the other thermometer, after the other thermostat was hooked up. Yeah, it's still on. 125, 126. All right. Whew. Shutting that shit the fuck off. I'm gonna go get a piece of cardboard or something. We're gonna put across here just to baffle it a little bit. See what we get. You know, actually, I don't think this thermostat's working. It doesn't say smart. It could be that one of my data wires came off while I was hooking up. Orange, brown, blue, green. I thought it was weird that the speed never changed. And when I tried turning it off, it didn't. Some of these units will just continue on the last command. So I think that's why it's getting ready to, and there it goes, it's getting ready to start up. We'll have to fix that thermostat in a minute. It's still dropping. Just put that piece of cardboard right there. Now, you would think, you know, it'd be better having the hot air discharging over, you know, the cool air coming in, but the reason these are this way is because the way they have the fan down there where you can get to it from the inside once these are installed, so you have to have it kind of down there. And also these have a little slinger on the fan, and the condensate drips when this is set up properly. This condensate drips down into the pan right there. And the first section of condensate is where the slinger part is. It kind of like slings the water, condensate water, into the coil, evaporates it there. And then if it has a lot of condensate and it doesn't evaporate enough, it'll actually go out down into the other part of the pan and then down the drain. All right, I hear the compressor ramping up. That's dropped down to 103 there. It probably is maybe like 100 out. It's just that, yeah, see, this is going towards 100. This was just down to 92, 93 because of the cool air coming out. So I had this kind of stuck on there just to blow the air down towards me. So, see, it's already dropping. It was like 97 a second ago. So it's like 97, 98 out here. And, that's dropping closer to reality. That's the air pulling in. And then that radial fan, axial fan, whatever, pushes the air through the coil out the bottom. So this thing was looping like crazy a few minutes ago. And that thing was just shooting up. You guys saw, like, what was it, 123 degrees. So this thing's kicking out the heat, but look, it's still dropping. I'll let it go a few minutes, let this ramp up. 102.2. It's kind of bouncing up and down, so I don't think it's gonna keep going up anymore now. But this is why it's important to always have a seal on your divider when the grill hooked up properly. And don't have two of these fucking things aimed at each other. Don't want to drop names. Yeah, so look, it's not timing anymore. 102. Suckers. See, this is dropping already because it's some of this cool air is dropping right here. Yeah. So, but you know, mid 90s evaporator inlet. Man, that thing was up to 123 for the entering outside air for the condenser. That was shit. Oh yeah. Look what that piece of cardboard did. Dropped that over 20 degrees. I'm gonna let that run while I take a peek at this thermostat, see if I got a wire not on right. Okay, let's see if that gets it. So on voltage, data plus, data minus, and ground, we have orange, brown, blue, green. And we have orange, brown, blue, green here. And that's V plus, D minus, V minus. Call it ground, but it's really V plus, V minus. But I used a pocket screwdriver. I'm now just tightening up with this nice Klein here. This little part right here is usually the sub base on the wall. Now, I can't remember if it was official or just what somebody told me when I first worked on this, but they said when it says smart in here, is when it's properly communicating. And if it didn't say that, there was a communication problem. But this cable, I've been using this cable, and it works on the other thermostat. And I guess I was right, this thermostat just doesn't work. And it's probably why it was laying there in the shop. It is a bad thermostat. So I can't change any settings now unless I put that other one back on. That's why when I turned it off, it just goes back on. It's not stopping it. See there? Amps did drop down to 6, man. That was 7 and 8 amps a few minutes ago. 102. Just for shits and giggles. Look at that sucker time. We already know it's going to just keep going up. I'm not exactly sure how the louvers work, but I think there's some sort of mechanism in them to try to keep it from recirculating air. I know some of them are recirculating. The tech support from this company has looked at data that's been turned in off the SD cards, and you know, they're like, we have like 130, 132 degree outside air, you know, which is the thermistor that's hanging down in there. They're like, that is bad, which of course it is. That entering the coil, dude, that's like crazy, man. So that's, you drop right back down. Sweet. So just so you know. Alright, well, it's blowing out some nice Arctic cold air. Okay. Starting this back up. Got this thermostat back on, and people are going to criticize. But it works. I turn the fan down, the fan will slow down after a few seconds. There it goes. Speaking of shit. On my display on my Samsung, to avoid overheating, don't record more than 10 minutes of video. I don't know if that just means because I have the flash on. Yeah. So we'll put the fan back on high. It takes a little second and it'll go up. There it goes. Back up to about 7 amps. There it be. This unit is working. That fault I was getting, also when I had the other thermostat on, it's clear. So that other thermostat right there is bad. That was the first one I was trying to use, but it was bad. Maybe I'll get my hands on another one. So anyway, it's getting dark. I'm actually pretty sore. Worked out late last night. Had to go to a job site and didn't get home till late. So just been tired all day and just got done working on this a little bit, making that connector. That connector came out up here. Came out pretty slick. Focus this damn thing. The other end plugs in right there. So I think tomorrow if I get a chance, I'm going to go ahead, I'll move on to the other one of these I have. See if I could get it running. Now that I know I have another, I've tested a couple of these, and that's loose too. I've got a couple of these where this transformer cap is loose. Wow, I didn't catch that on this one. Yikes, at least it's still working. But I got another one of these that works, so now I should be able to go back on that other one I have and kind of start troubleshooting it. It's missing the electronic expansion valve, So I'll see what I can do about that. See if I can muster up something. And now it's missing the data cable, or it was, because I took that communicating cable to the heater board off of it for this one. But now I got my new one I just made, which frees up one I took off of it. I can put back on there. If you don't have that cable, even though you're not using heat, this will have it stop on a fault and it says minimum configuration not met or something like that. So that sucks. But I think I have enough here, except for the expansion valve, possibly. Do a little bit of testing, but stay tuned, and don't forget to like and subscribe and all that jazz.